Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Anna Morphides with Wendy Hearts Counseling. And today's video is going to be all about why do we bring in unavailable people into our romantic experiences. So this is actually inspired by a comment that was left on a video that I made the day before yesterday. And the video was all about fear of abandonment and emotional dependency. And now we know that certain attachment styles that we acquire as children, in particular, the anxious ambivalent attachment style, which is affecting about 15% of the population. This particular type of attachment will usually bring in the avoidant attachment style, which is about 20% of the population, because those two are complete opposite of each other. And this is the only way that you can learn and grow within your own attachment style. So this is a really good book, actually, that talks about attachment style theory. It's called Brainstorm by David Siegel. And he explains in depth how we acquire these attachment styles to begin with when we are children. So an anxious attachment or ambivalent attachment style, such as myself, who grew up in an unstable environment, never knowing whether they were going to be soothed or they were going to be punished. So say, for example, if I fell down, I wasn't sure if I was going to, like I'm talking about when I was a child, or if I did a performance, I didn't know if I was going to be soothed if I fell down, or I was going to get a beating because I fell down. And most cases, I would actually get a beating instead of being soothed. And then if I did a project or I did a play or anything at school, the chances that I was going to be criticized actually were 100%. I don't think I ever received anything positive. So, I mean, of course, why else would I, like, how would I have a secure attachment style to who I am as my little brain is developing into its adolescent self? If this is all I'm receiving, how on earth am I supposed to have a secure attachment to who I am? Well, where all I have ever been shown is the complete opposite. So this is where then it comes in play when you are an adult in your romantic relationships, because your inner child is still looking for that experience of feeling accepted, loved, soothed, cherished, wanted, desired. Like, it still wants to have that experience. But the only difference now is that we can actually give it to ourselves. We don't need to depend on anyone else. Yes, of course, if we are going to be in a connection, of course, we want to be in a connection where the person is not avoidant. That is the most ideal, is a connection where both parties are securely attached and both parties are able to not only express their own emotions in a non-violent communicative way and understand them and know where they're coming from, but also be able to hold their partner's emotions in a way that they don't take it personally, they don't go on the defensive, and then a discussion or a beautiful harmony of words being exchanged within each other happens. And that is what would ideally happen in a secure attachment style model between a parent and a child. And then that model can be easily recreated later on in life by adults in romantic relationships. So I haven't cried out my unworthiness wound like I did yesterday, and it felt like a really long time. But I think that I've worked on my attachment style for a long time to know that it's not so much that I'm insecurely attached to myself anymore. Like, I know who I am, and I feel that I deserve love, and I deserve to be with someone that is able to carry me. I don't need anyone to carry me in my emotions, but as a feminine, ideally, our roles as like predominantly feminine energies is supposed to be receiving. We are supposed to be receiving that security from the masculine energy that is predominant in our life, in our romantic relationships. Now, where emotional unavailable men come in and how they interact with the feminine is not in a secure way. And then it is kind of proven that now in this particular age of Aquarius, the feminine is chasing her self-worth, but so is the masculine, except they're doing it in different ways. Like the feminine has predominantly taken, or the feminine energy has predominantly taken the chaser role between the two. And then the masculine seems to be predominantly the runner in the connections. So the female wants to really get into her queen role, her feminine role, like embrace who she is and be able to sit in her throne and receive that goodness from the masculine. But if the masculine is not in his full energy, if the masculine still has unhealed wounds, if the masculine has a insecure attachment style or an avoidant attachment style, if the masculine doesn't know their own self-worth, if they're struggling with their finances, if they're struggling with thoughts predominantly in their head, if they don't have emotional intelligence, if they can't decipher their own emotions, if they're in victim mentality, if they're doing all these things and they can't hold themselves in that space, how are they supposed to hold us in that space? They can't. So then when I think about me expecting a masculine energy, much like me expecting my mom who was not able to be there for herself, how would I expect someone to hold me in my stuff when they can't even hold themselves in their stuff? So usually that's why people like this come together, so then we can mirror each other and hopefully take those experiences and grow with each other. AKA the anxious attached person who is grasping on for emotional dependency needs to work on themselves and figure out what it is that they need when it comes to emotional fulfillment and give it to themselves. And then the avoidant would hopefully look to see, why are they running away? Why are they not looking at their emotions? Why do they get on the defensive? Why are they not able to hear what the feminine is saying? Like, why? So if people took the time to understand why they behave the way that they do, then relationships would be a lot different and a lot more people would feel less heartache and things would just flow differently. Because also when people say, oh, let's just go with the flow is completely different for people. Maybe my flow is, after a while of connection, my flow would be perhaps wanting to get into like a monogamous relationship, or maybe I would be polyamorous and I would want to keep the relationship open, or maybe so it depends. Like flow is different for everyone depending on what feels most naturally available to you coming through, like what you want to experience. So how do we go about healing this now? So this comment that came in and said, I draw in unavailable men, but I want to be able to gift this to myself. She's realizing that whatever she's seeking from the masculine, she secretly yearns to give it to herself. And that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And this is exactly what I have done for so long. And this is how I healed my unhelpful core beliefs, my anxious attachment style, my abandonment wound. This is how I was able to heal all this, by giving myself that corrective experience that the masculine was not able to give me. And I have come a long way, because what I was being mirrored back by the masculine is way different than what I'm being mirrored back to me today. But so it went from even, like really terrible words, which reflected my own self-talk. So I was receiving words like, you're delusional, you're crazy, pathetic. And I don't even want to name some of the other ones because they're just terrible. But it was mostly reflecting my self-talk, and also the talk that I had acquired from when I was a child. I had to stop and restart there for a second. But going back to experiencing emotional, unavailable people. So at some point, after you do all your work, at some point, you will get tested by the universe to see where you are actually riding within your new vibration. So if you have done all the work to heal your abandonment wound, if you have done all your work to heal your rejection wound, you're showing up for yourself, you're doing your gratitude, you're constantly transmuting your negative emotions into joy, you try to find the positive in life, you try to submerge yourself with positive things, friends, things that make you happy, not crying or thinking and feeling, why did that not work out for me? Why doesn't anyone love me? Or why can't they love me? Why is this happening to me? Like, all those types of thoughts will produce more shit feeling and keep you in a more shit feeling state. Trust me, believe me, I know it, I've been there. So even though yesterday I'm crying my unworthiness wound, I cry it, but I let it go, because I know I'm not that anymore. So if I'm being tested by the universe and I'm being not held within the masculine energy, like if I'm needing, like as a feminine, I need to receive, like it's like innately a part of me being a woman. Like, I want to receive. I don't want to just receive from myself. Like, I can do this for myself now. I give to myself everything. I give myself affirmations. I give myself all the love. I give myself all the things. So it's only natural that at some point I will want to receive that from a masculine energy. So there is nothing wrong in wanting that. But if someone is not able to meet you there, what are we supposed to be doing? Are we supposed to go back into that anxious attached child self and think and feel, what's wrong with me? Why can't they love me? Or we can't stay in that state. That's not good. It's not serving. So we might as well go back into giving ourselves all that we are needing, and really showing the universe that, like, no, we got this. We don't need to settle. We understand why it's happening, and then we do the work to continue to have trust that at some point, all that work will manifest in your 3D reality, because it starts from within first, and then outside world catches up. And hopefully by us feminines continuing to heal our wounds, that will reflect back into the masculine, and then they will continue to heal their stuff, and then they'll be able to really be present for us feminines in the way that serves them the most too, because their natural role is to be a giver. The natural role is to be a giver, not only in the financial sort of way, but also like in an emotional stable sort of way. And then if the feminine feels so safe, then she will support him in his journey, so then he can continue to thrive in that, because he has the love, compassion, support of a feminine. But if it's reversed, it won't work. It's not natural for the feminine to be all the time, oh, are you okay? Or how can I support you? What do you need? It's not natural for the feminine to keep doing that. And also, as feminines, we do have to worry about finances now too, or our children, all these other things. It's not natural state for us to be in that all the time. What is most natural for the feminine is to be receiving that support from the masculine, and then she feels safe within herself, and then she can like really open and really let go and just really just give, because we are, we have so much nurturing and love to give, but how are we supposed to give it if we don't feel safe in that connection? But first, before we're even able to give it to someone else, we have to be able to give it to ourselves. As within, so without. So as you have it all from within, you're going to be looking for it from the outside. You're not going to be looking for it from the outside. So as you have it within, you won't, as without, without you looking for it on the outside. I hope this video made sense, and I hope you can understand that there's nothing wrong with you if you're finding yourself attracting unavailable men. It's just a little bit more of work that we have to do to understand where that mirror is coming from. What are we not seeing from ourselves, or have we done the work and it's just purely like a test to see have we learned our lessons, and do we know our worth, and what are we willing to settle for, and what are we willing to fight for, without being scared of letting go that which is not serving you. This is the biggest hurdle that an anxious attached person will have to overcome, is letting go something that is not serving, because we're grasping onto things that are not serving, much like we did when we were children, grasping onto that primary caregiver, even though we weren't sure if they're going to be there for us or not. Like, that's not a sustainable relationship. Not knowing, is this person going to be able to hear me, or are they going to be talking about how much they are in their own stuff? And I'm not saying that men and women shouldn't be able to talk about their stuff. They should be, but it should be in an equal way. Because I feel like predominantly for me, I feel like I'm usually more like holding other people. So I'm holding my children, I'm holding my dog, I'm holding the people in my practice. I'm not supposed to also be holding the masculine too. I mean, of course I'm going to be there for the masculine, but it shouldn't be predominantly. When the masculine has no idea what's going on in my life, or I'm going through major events in my life without them having no idea, because they're so immersed in their own stuff, and they're so this and they're so that. Like, what do I need that then for? We don't we don't need something anymore as adults that is not fulfilling our needs. It's better to just not be in that position where you are going to feel not enough, not worthy, and all these things. And then again, you never know how things are going to pan out, but we do have to have trust that everything is always working out for us. Everything is always happening for a reason. And even if it feels sad in this moment, we can always transmute it, and we can start, over again. Every day is an opportunity to be different, do different, change our vibration, raise our vibration, and have different outcomes in our lives. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting. I hope you have a super rest of your day, and remember to always make sure you give yourself everything that you need. We are adults now, and as long as we understand ourselves and our attachment style, then we can start to change those patterns of bringing in emotionally unavailable people as we become available to ourselves, and we don't abandon and we cater to what we think and feel is most serving for us, and we just make room for more by letting go of the things that are not serving. And I know it's really hard to do, but it's the thing that will give us the best outcome in the end. Because if you're going to be suffering, you might as well just be suffering with the knowing that you're creating space while you're getting back into joy, as opposed to suffering in a connection where it's not serving you, and that's just constant. With all my gratitude, again, thank you so much. If you liked anything about this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love it for you to do so. And you can hit that notification button to never miss a video from me ever again. And I will see you next time.